What's up guys, Rob, Feedbackwrench. I'm gonna have kind of like the most ironic video right now because I help small businesses. So we do websites, digital advertising for small businesses, feedbackwrench.com. I do a ton of consulting too. If you want consulting, we can have a phone call about your accounting practice, your investment firm, whatever it is, your construction business. We do a lot with builders, home services companies, seal coating, whatever that is. I love helping small businesses, and that's it. And in this video, I want to talk about how to drive leads, and I'm going to talk a little bit about video. And I know that this is obnoxious. You're watching a video, and I'm going to talk about why video is important, but I'm going to talk about how you can actually do it if you're just a normal small business, dude. You're a construction guy, maybe you're a mechanic, maybe you got a body shop. I don't care what it is. I want to talk to you about content creation. I'm not some super pretty, like I'm not doing Instagram models. I'm kind of obnoxious, but I think that social media can be totally obnoxious. And most business owners that I talk to are so focused on their family and on their business. You know, they're like, I kind of like a Facebook, or a lot of people do a ton of YouTube now. Everybody's canceled their cable. Good. Cable is trash. I'm in this hotel right now, and I cannot tell you, I never watch network news or network channels ever, because I think it's complete and utter propaganda. It is so orchestrated. They're liars. They're screen people. I don't trust them at all. It's not to say I trust everybody on YouTube, but at least I can decide on YouTube, right? Anyways, people are fleeing away, and they're spending time. And I just want to talk about like what actually works in terms of video right now in 2021. Number one, you got to get on TikTok, okay? I think I'm late to the party on this. When you first, here's what you need to know about TikTok. Now, I've seen a couple of my customers use it really well. I'm starting to have some engagement on there, just a little bit. It's Feedbackwrench. I actually got in an argument about teachers' salaries. It was real great. But long story short, TikTok, the only reason why people love TikTok right now is because it has organic reach. You know, Facebook, when Facebook first came out, and Instagram, it was the same thing, but 5 years later. The reason why people went to it is because you can get Facebook famous, you can get Instagram famous, you can actually get followers. And then over time, Facebook, and like I used to share posts on Facebook in the early days, and I would get like 200,000 views, 1 million views on some post that I did. They'd let it go because people actually liked it and enjoyed it. And then Google's like, well, wait a minute, or Facebook's like, wait a minute, we need to drive profits. Why are we giving away these views for free? Let's do a pay-to-play scheme. So now they use Facebook advertising as a pay-to-play scheme, so that the only way that you get those is if you pay for it, because it's valuable. And love or hate that, the bottom line is you can't get Facebook famous anymore unless you're a crony with Facebook, and you can't get Instagram famous unless you're a lot prettier than I am, right? And let's just be frank, you can add a ton of value, you can get into the algorithms, but right now, why would Facebook give away valuable views when, because it's valuable, they can charge for it, right? I get it, I actually get it. It's annoying, but TikTok's not that way right now, right? TikTok is still building, and I can't figure out if TikTok's just the Chinese sorting us so that they can come and invade us, or if it's like, why are they allowing such broad organic reach? And the whole function of TikTok is actually pretty fun. So when you first get in there, their most popular videos are the ones that appeal to the lowest common denominator in all of us. So it's people shaking their butts, it's half naked people, and it's people doing stupid dances and fails and being cutesy, right? But the moment you get in there and you start liking some of the things, you do some searches and like, and just double tap and watch and consume some of the videos that you like, it instantly shows itself and it taps into what you like, right? But not only does it algorithmically bias towards what you like, but it also experiments with new content creators. So what's funny is in mine, it's all like tons of kind of liberty focused entrepreneurs, and they all are a lot alike. I think my TikTok feed is pretty cool, actually. It's lots of perspectives that I don't have. It's lots of cool stuff. Get into that some other day. But basically what's happening is it uses algorithms to show you more of what you want, but it also will show small creators. Oftentimes I'll see, 100,000 views, 2 million views, 1.5 million views, 200,000 views, 5 views. But because it's in the vein that I like, it's connecting us. Now, I don't know how long TikTok will do that. Usually it seems like the model is you build the flat platform, And then over time, because the fame and the views are valuable, you are going to extract financial value out of it. So I'd imagine TikTok's going to do that, but that's just where people are right now. There will continue to be a new one every couple of years, because as soon as they get people actually using the platform, enjoying the platform, and going there, because they can get lots of views, those views are valuable. We know that that's valuable. It's valuable whether you're just trying to gain popularity, or if you're trying to drive business, or if you're trying to be an influencer so that a business would pay you. There is value to lots of views right now. So I'd imagine it's going to change over time, but I'm telling you right now, you should go on there, and you can only create 59-second or 30-second. I'm still learning, and I'm not TikTok famous by any means. I got like 40 people on TikTok with me, but TikTok is probably one that you got to pay attention to right now, because it's gonna, I mean, we're at risk. Facebook is slowly bleeding in a good way. I kind of despise them. But here's the next video. YouTube content. Like YouTube content in a couple different ways. One, you got to create highly optimized SEO content that solves a very specific problem, right? So if you get in there, you should title your video around the problem that someone would search, right? So what's the tax difference between an LLC and S Corp? Here's how to set up an S Corp in Minnesota. Here's how to convert from an LLC to an S Corp in Minnesota. Here's how to set up a new business in Minnesota. Here's the top 5 accountants in Minnesota. Whatever it is, right? You can go through and just think of the things that people would search, because YouTube is the #2 biggest search engine in the world. It is super powerful. Not only that, but the #1 search engine and the #3 search engine, Google and Bing, both use YouTube and bring it into their search engine. So it's super important. So the #1 piece of content that you want to do is anticipate all of the queries that people are actually going to ask, and then teach on it. Be an authority. Act like you're giving a presentation. Whatever it is, if it's just like this where you can sit down at a camera, and I've been doing this for like 2.5 hours right now, and I'm just going because I'm caffeinated, I got time. My kid, like I'm in Seattle all by myself, it's kind of cool. But the bottom line is, folks, is that if you create that content around that search item, it will get found. And here's what's really interesting to me. I have a ton of content, and I'm putting them on iTunes podcasts right now, regular Google podcasts and everything. But if you release a video to your niche and you get the right people tuning into you, right? So I have a whole bunch of accountants and bookkeepers and tax professionals. There's probably about 300 or 400 people that click on every video that I release about them right away, and then over time I get more. If you do the math on what the value is in Google Ads, let's just imagine that if somebody were to say websites for accountants or websites for remodeling companies, and I'm releasing these videos and I'm getting 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 views. Think of what the economic value is in Google Ads. If you just think about, for you to have somebody see your website, the cost per click in a Google Ads, like between, I don't know, $2 for seal coating and $60 for websites. So in a way, if you create consistently, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but the first thing is you optimize it. You have to have the title, and then you put tags in it so that it's optimized around a search query. And then you just create videos, whether they're 59-second videos or 59-minute videos, as long as they're engageable, as long as people will listen to it. If there's a group of people that will listen to it, it might show to 1,000 people and maybe only 20 of them click, but those 20 people might be the right people. It's really good if you have the right people tuning into your YouTube channel. And there's a whole subculture. People are fleeing away from cable television and they're going towards YouTube. I'm telling you, YouTube is where it's at. Not only that, but it's search-based. It is intent-based, and it's not totally taken over where you can't get those views. It's super helpful. So if you think about YouTube like that, the next thing that you're going to kind of come to this conclusion is, well, what level of production do I need? Now, I'm on a little bit nicer camera here, but you'll notice that I'm just a talking head, and it's because I'm more of an audible. I have a face for radio, right? I can speak, right? And if you ever looked at my YouTube analytics, I have an average watch time of like 6 or 7 minutes, and that's from having 1-minute videos to some really long videos. Most of my videos, I get tons of engagement. That's why I'm putting them on iTunes or on podcasts so that people can actually listen to them. But what you'll find is that the idea is each video is like a piece of food that you're serving up to somebody, right? So it's like somebody asked for pizza, you're giving them a slice of pizza, and maybe they eat the whole thing, maybe they eat part of it. How much of that are they actually consuming, right? So the idea is you got to speak a little bit quicker. You have to be a little more engaging. Now, ultimately, if you had a or a video production person or a video editor that can make it way more interesting, that'd be great. But that's expensive. What I've found is that if you take your phone, as long as your audio is good, make sure that you never get very far away from your phone or from your audio source so that you can actually have excellent audio. What you're gonna find is that people will tune into it, right? And you can do other things with it. But the bottom line is, if you create this SEO optimized stuff and then really niche, just speak to your niche. Think of every FAQ that they might have. Think of teach people how to be a great consumer in whatever sector you are as a small business owner, right? If you sold Caterpillar tractors, what I would do on YouTube is start showing people, hey, if you're looking at skid steers or mobile track excavators, here's how I would qualify how I would purchase. Do you do new? Do you do used? High hours, low hours? How do you determine how much power you need? How do you determine what kind of features you need? And just teach them how to be an excellent consumer. Because what video does, number one, is it allows you to be a guide to people that are inside of your niche, right? Inside of your sector. So I help small business owners and I help entrepreneurs and people that want to grow their sales ability and want to drive leads, right? And what you'll find is that if you do that through video and you can learn how to teach like that, it just drives engagement over time. The idea though is you have to figure out your communication style, make sure that your audio is good, and that's gonna be fine. And if you frame that up against Google search ads and think of how much money it would cost for you to get those clicks, you'll see how valuable it is. And then here's the second big benefit right now of creating YouTube or Vimeo videos. You can put them on your website, and video can be an excellent thing on your web page to help close consumers, right? So if you actually get clicks to your website, if you're driving traffic to your website, a lot of times people would much rather just hit the play button and get to know who you are and get to understand what you do by listening and watching rather than reading everything on your website. So not only that, but you can create webinars, you can create content that people would exchange their email for by taking video and putting it on your website. We do this with people big time. So I'm telling you right now, if you invest in putting video on your website and you learn how to communicate a little bit, people will start to connect with you and they'll know who you are. It's risky. I often cringe a little bit at how many videos I have out there, and I'm approaching 2 million, or I'm over 2 million views. I got 20,000 subscribers or something like that. I'm not huge, but I'm not small, and I get tons of calls every week. It drives our business. People are like, I've been watching your videos for 3 years. Thank you for helping me. I'm ready to take a step. And then I think about how many people have seen my ugly mug, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's kind of weird, right? So what video allows you to do though, it also allows you to bring whatever it is that you have in terms of salesmanship or in terms of like connection, right? A lot of people will talk to me, they're like, if I can just get people on the phone, if they just call me, I'm gonna have good luck. If I can just drive leads to me, because if I can get them on the phone, I can close them. Well, what's cool about video is video essentially does just that. It brings the best conversations that you have on the phone to somebody over the camera. Now, talking to a camera is not super easy, but practice makes perfect. If you just do it a lot and you get a little bit of feedback and you just try, it's gonna work. And there's a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm assuming you know about him, because if you know about me, he's way more famous than I am, and you've probably heard him because he's way more helpful than I am. But get over your fear of failure. Get over your feel of feeling cringe, unless you're really cringy. We can determine that. But don't be afraid of looking stupid. Just create and then adapt and learn. If you create a video of some sort, and it could be a one-shot like this, and if you learn how to get better over time, what you're gonna see is that you will get better over time. You will continuously improve, but just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't care what people think. Get over being so afraid of looking stupid that you won't take your excellent sales abilities or even your mediocre sales abilities in person and bring them so that they can happen in the middle of the night with people through a video. Because that's ultimately, video allows people to connect with you. People get to understand your flow, your tempo, who you are. and it's so valuable. So if there's one thing I would say is creating video, putting it on YouTube, and then you could take that and you can post that on Facebook, Instagram, IGTV. You can put it on LinkedIn. You can put it everywhere, right? But it's really helpful. So I think when it comes to business right now, the two biggest places are TikTok and YouTube. And then I just hit on the third one. Evidently, LinkedIn's a big deal. Now, I'm not LinkedIn famous. I don't know a ton about LinkedIn. But what I do know is LinkedIn is similar to TikTok in that they allow more reach, particularly if you engage back and forth, than what Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram were there first. They commanded so much attention, and to this day, more moms and dads and grandparents and stuff are on Facebook. They just don't go on the other platforms. People still use Facebook a lot, so they command the market. So they have that valuable reach. The other people don't have that valuable reach. LinkedIn has lots of reach, lots of good things happening. It used to not be that way. They've come a long ways in the last 10 years. But LinkedIn will give you more traffic or you'll get more organic views on LinkedIn. So you can take those same videos, you can either share the YouTube video or you can upload it natively, and it will help. Again, I would say that's a little tip to know that native video on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn all has to be under 10 minutes, and you need to share it natively on their platform, which means you don't share a YouTube video on Facebook. It means you upload the video to YouTube or to Facebook, and then you share it on their platform because they don't want to help each other. They're kind of buttoned down. But I'm telling you guys, grab your camera, record yourself, get good audio, do little clips on TikTok, make sure that you're creating YouTube videos. Take those YouTube videos and you can boost them. You can do some interesting stuff. You can put them on your website. But it's helpful. It's grown my business. It's grown hundreds of other people's business that I know. And a lot of my clients are having some pretty stellar success when they just take that risk. But you got to get unstuck. You got to actually do it. And you have to practice. And it's not that easy. So good luck. God bless. I'm going to go watch my Jared Kelnick, my cousin. He's getting his call up to the big leagues today. And we're going to go watch him tomorrow. Play for the Seattle Mariners for the very first time after going through single A, double A, and triple A. Check him out, Jared Kelnick, if you like baseball, which I don't. I run his YouTube channel, and we're creating a ton of great content. So I'm going to go watch that. It's gorgeous outside. Good luck and God bless. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this stuff. Help us out if you're on the podcast. I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or on Google Podcasts. That helps us a lot. So we'll be in touch. Take care. God bless.